Hey everyone, it is I, Tetcher, and I am doing another Heroes of the Storm beta key giveaway between the dates of March 21st, 2015 and March 25th, 2015. In order to see the rules on how to enter, click the link in the description below. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PGL Spring Champions of the Storm qualifier. This is going to be the upper bracket final. So, loser of this will go down to play SK in the lower bracket final. Winner of this will move on to the grand final. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side. Let's press play. Spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks. It is our team from Spain. It is El Nexo. And playing on the Malfurion, it will be Vortex. Playing the Rhaegar, it is Gran PKT. Falcon will be playing the Sergeant Hammer, and hidden in the back there is going to be Black Scorp on the Valor, and Lucifron is playing the Chen. Whereas on the right hand side in the red trunks, very appropriate due to their team logo, is going to be Gamers2 Hots. And on their team we have Nika, he will be playing the Jaina. We have ADRD, he is playing the Tyrande. It is going to be Zaichu. He will be playing the Sonya. Zhao is playing the Tastar on the Mecha Wolf skin, which is awesome. And Leo from Korea is going to be playing the Upa. So, we already have some interesting stuff in this game, in the fact that, well, Jade is here, which is a bit unusual, and we're seeing the usual strategy that we see from a lot of teams nowadays on the Dragonshire, of clearing out the mid lane so you get all the XP from it, and making your way down to the bot lane in time to get all the XP. And it looks like Saichu did make it down there in time. In the meantime, El Nexo going for the 3-man push in the top lane. They have a siege tank, so it's going to be pretty good for them to push up that lane. However, as we can see here, we have a very good counter push potential comp here out of Gamers2 Hots. We have Tassadar, who's going to be able to storm Sergeant Hammer if at any point she does decide to siege up, and Nika can do exactly the same with his Blizzard. So Sergeant Hammer going to have to be on the move constantly, and as we just saw there, ADRD, Tyrande, can drop that Lunar Flare at any point to keep Hammer on her toes. So El Nexo are going to have a really hard time pushing here. We'll have to see how that works out for them. Shrines are now available, and we're already seeing a lot of people roaming towards the mid lane, looking for that kill. Nika and ADRD both separated out. Leo from Korea hanging about, looking for his opportunity. He's pushed Vortex back a bit, but it's nothing too bad at the moment. Al hits Lucifron. Once again, nothing too bad. He's already got the fountain ticking on him, so he'll get all the healing that he needs. Doesn't get the fire onto Zaichu, gets the slow. Not too bad. In comes ADRD and Nika. Nika gets the slow. There's the Blizzard. One stick lands. There's the Lunar Flare, but there's no follow-up due to the fact ADRD is taking huge amounts of damage from Falcon and a Black Scorp. Black Scorp dodging in case there was going to be another Frostbolt coming out of Jaina there. So that was close. Now though, both teams heading back to the mid lane. Both shrines about to go over to Gamers2 Hots, but Vortex is here. He can deny this for quite a while thanks to his Moonfire, so that won't be a problem. And because there is that there, let me move this. Or I don't know where to move this actually. Now I'll leave it there, and I'll just escape out of this. Lucifron taking a bit of damage. He's going to have to back up. Going to get quite a bit of healing from that healing ward taken by Malfurion. And while we are talking about this, oh, never mind, Lucifron getting stunned. Will there be a follow-up stun? Lunar Flare is off cooldown. It does land, and Leo from Korea able to pick up the kill. Chen is the first blood of the game to Gamers2 Hots. So yeah, let's have a look at some of the talents while we are waiting for the teams to trade shrines a bit more. We have, on the side of El Nexo, the standard stuff, the Conjurer's Pursuit and a Malfurion, the healing ward for that extra healing. Valor running the multi-shot build, Rhaegar with the easily standard stuff, the healing totem and the fast sight for that vision. And the healing totem, obviously level 1, it's exactly the same stats as the healing ward a couple levels earlier, so it allows you to go very aggressive at the earlier levels. In comes Nika, going on to Vortex, but he does get rooted, unable to land more than that. But Nika, the roaming Jada, very aggressive. I'm really liking the look of this. Chen, running the full regen build minus the amplified healing, instead running the swift reflexes for the extra, for dodging auto attacks, which is going to be pretty good against people like the Sonya and like the Tassadar. Sergeant Hammer running full range. on the side of Gamers2 Hots as they look for a gank but unable to land anything. Just keeping the pressure on in both of the lanes. We have Jaina, who is the one we were quite interested in, has the increased slow from her passive increased to 35%. She has Arcane Intellect, which means she gets mana back every time she deals damage to a chilled target, which is great due to the fact that Jaina is very, very reliant on her abilities and they all cost quite a decent amount of mana. So having a bit of that mana return is very nice for her, and she has the Ice Lance, which means the cooldown of Frostbolt is reduced by 2 seconds if it impacts a chilled target. So definitely relying on the Frostbolt for that extra damage. Ufa, never mind, we're seeing Tassadar escape there. Ufa running standard stuff, Conjurer's Pursuit, Protective Shield, and the Cleanse to get out of some of that CC. The slows we're going to be seeing from Chen later, and the roots coming from Malfurion, and even the Rain of Vengeance out of Valor. We have the Battle Momentum coming out of Tyrande again, which we've been seeing a lot today, which gives the nice deny there from Leo from Korea. Didn't even need to cleanse himself as well. He still has that off cooldown, so he is pretty good. But yeah, the Battle Momentum allows for even more denials out of this Tyrande. More stuns, more owls, more denies of this Dragon Knight, which is pretty good. Conjurer's Pursuit, Healing Ward, Static Charge out of Tassadar, the usual stuff. And this Sonya running a slightly different build to the other ones we've seen today. Nice job getting out again. Where she's starting off with the Shot of Fury and the Furious Blow, which is what we have been seeing, but it's also running the Ferocious Healing, giving her a little bit more sustain rather than the extra splash damage that a lot of people are taking, making her a bit more tanky, considering she is the solo tank on this team. This does make a lot of sense. So, not a bad idea, and she actually does find Falcon there, but going to ignore him and start dealing with the rest of these Bruiser camps, and will take them instead. Does have that that Ferocious Healing as well, so you can get a lot of that health back, especially with the regen she gets. Level 10 has been hit by Gamers2 first. However, they do also hold both shrines. El Nexo going to be camping this mid lane to stop anything going down. Heroic talents, we can see the Water Elemental being taken by Jaina for that huge damage. Ufa going to be able to get the Dragon Knight here. Oh no, nice denial out of my Fury, and Vortex at the very last second going to be able to hold that off. Leo from Korea will be grabbing the Dragon Knight though, as with Vortex not wanting to risk diving in again. Other heroic talents, Divine Storm. Down goes Jaina somewhere. I guess that was down here. Falcon looks like he's going to pay for it though. He went a bit too far and he will go down, so that was a 1-for-1 trade. We have Divine Storm coming out of Ufa, Starfall coming out of Tyrande. There goes Chen. And we have the Archon out of Tassadar. Leap coming out of Sonya. Whereas on the side of El Nexo, they have also hit their level 10s. We have the Tranquility out of Vortex, got to get that extra healing. The Rain of Vengeance coming out of Valor. Bloodlust coming out of Rhaegar. El Nexo, very, very aggressive here. They do have some pretty good heroes for auto attack though. Valor, even though she's running the multi-shot build, that extra attack and speed and damage is going to be pretty nice. Whereas Sergeant Hammer is going to be running the Napalm, and Chen with the Wandering Keg. So, yeah, we have a Jaina in the game, which is pretty interesting, and we also have a Bloodlust Rhaegar, which we haven't seen in a long, long time, ever since the days of old Odin Tychus, and the, what was that combined with? That was combined with Tassadar, in fact, where you got the Bloodlust onto that, and it would be pretty effective. Alan Abertha in there with a cloned Odin back in the day, and it would just destroy everything. For now, though, El Nexo going to be taking their easy camp. G2 Gamers2 Hots were thinking about rolling in there and trying to steal that away, but decided against it. Instead, going to be moving in towards their own easy camp, and will take that instead. They do get spotted though, thanks to the far side of Rhaegar, and that means that El Nexo know they are very safe to roll into their own Bruiser camp and take that as well. Grand PKT rolling in there to take some of the aggro off Flaxcorp, who is still, however, getting some really good healing out of Malfurion thanks to that Enduring Growth talent, which increased the duration of regrowth by 6 seconds, basically meaning it lasts longer, meaning it heals for more. Malfurion moving down to the bot lane, going to be helping Sergeant Hammer take care of this easy camp down here, which shouldn't be too difficult. Gamers2 not taking their Bruiser camp yet, and it does get far-sighted, so El Nexo knows they're not taking this. They could, if they wanted to, try and roll in here and maybe try and get some aggression with it, but deciding against it instead. El Nexo are currently going on to Leo from Korea, who is going to be able to escape. But that Feral Lunge that we just saw out of Chen has been taken, but not going to make too much of a difference. Sergeant Hammer continuing to push the bottom lane very, very hard here. And El Nexo, in fact, going very aggressive onto this bottom lane. They're definitely going to be able to take down most of the buildings here. Question is, will they get the fort? As we do see Gamers2 Hots trying to defend this and on their way down. Tyrande, DCing and reseeing Not too bad. That Blizzard clearing the minion wave, forcing El Nexo to back up for at least a couple seconds. Zhao, bit out of position. We see the Napalm land. Black Scorp going very, very aggressive. And Tyrande using a heal onto Zhao to get some of the health back. Root not landing onto anyone. Gamers2 here, a bit split up. So looking for their opportunity to get a better engage here. They are now regrouped. The shrines are up, and that is their opportunity to engage. We do see the Ancient Spear of Luciferon. Where is going to be the leap from Zaichu? That will be the ability that actually decides when this engagement is going to happen. Zaichu going very aggressive. Zhao taking a lot of damage. There's the Bloodlust. Bloodlust is in fact going to be what engages this. And the barrel completely stopping Sonya from using her ability. So leap did not go down at all there. There it is. Finally going down, but only onto Vortex. Vortex is going to drop thanks to... No, it isn't. Ice Block. Saving him from dying to the Starfall. Zaichu dropping that ferocious healing and also getting a heal from Leo from Korea. And it looks like Gamers2 are going to come out on top in this fight, driving back El Nexo. The Bloodlust did work pretty well, did do a lot of damage, but without the huge amount of healing that Gamers2 are running, due to the fact that pretty much everyone has a self-heal, or at least a shield as well as their normal abilities, it did not go well for El Nexo there. And Luciferon now also going to go down, and that makes it, I think that was a 3 for 0 now. If you add that up, seeing someone just respawned. So El Nexo in a bit of a tough spot here. Sonya going for the Composite Spear, which increases the range of Ancient Spear by 30%. So a bit more aggressive again, trying to engage from much further away. And it's been working so far. She got a very slow leap off, and it only went up to Malfurion, who just ice blocked straight away. But she did get the ability off in the end. Some of the other levels 13 talents, Black Scorp not able to deny in time, but will be able to vault away and not get caught by Nika. We have the Ice Block out of Malfurion we did see earlier. The Frost Shot coming out of Valor, still keeping with that multi-shot build. Feral Lunge coming out of Rhaegar, we've also seen already. Relentless out of Chen, and the Giant Killer out of Sergeant Hammer, which is good when you have slows from Valor, roots from Malfurion, the slow from Chen possibly on level 16. And we have, Falcon, he's not going to have a good time. Down he goes. Luciferon trying to barrel to save him, but was not able to get there in time. Having to summon the level 13 and 16 talents from Gamers2. We can see Icy Veins coming out from Jaina here, which activates to make basic ability cooldowns 3 times as fast and to reduce their mana cost by 50%. Black Scorp, the Lunar Flare not landing onto him, but the Ancient Spear will, and that will take him down. And Gamers2 looking very, very strong in this series. Other talents we can see Sprint onto Uford for that engage when he sprints in for the Divine Storm, and the Imposing Presence to help counter out this Sergeant Hammer. We're seeing Tyrande staying at a pretty decent range thanks to her Lunar Flare talents. And Tassadar going for the second strike. He already has the static charge, so just going for some huge damage out of those. And Sonya finishing up the current build with the Imposing Presence again. Gotta slow down those auto attacks. Easy camp of El Nexo stolen by Gamers2 as they are very pushed up. They've done a good job here. They're backing up a bit just so they can get a reposition and get into a better position. And now going to be taking the Bruiser camp. And we have 2 members here. We have Zhao and Nika, both grouped up, making sure they can see El Nexo, or they can at least, so that if El Nexo do decide to engage onto this, they can get a good angle. But now El Nexo knows that this is going on. They may attempt to trap here, and in fact they probably should. They are now even on talents. They've got everything they need. Need to get a good engagement. Luciferon going in. There's the barrel. He separated out Zhao, but Zhao is going to dimensional shift to try and keep himself alive here. El Nexo focusing everything they have onto Zhao, but they're not killing him quick enough. There's the leap onto 3 members. There's the Bloodlust as well. It does not catch Zaichu. Lunar Flare catches 2 members though. Luciferon does have Relentless, so he's keeping himself alive. It is currently 1 for 0, but that's about to change very shortly as Luciferon dives in a bit too hard. He goes down. Zhao gets healed last second, keeping him alive. We're seeing Grand PKT attacking from the back, trying to take down someone, but we're now seeing Vortex being chased by Zaichu and 4 members heading round to this side from Gamers2. And oh god, Vortex is not in a good position here. There he is. He's going to Ice Block just to buy his team some time to escape. He will go down. And that's another 3 for 0 fight in favour of Gamers2. HOTS looking great in this game, keeping very much on top of things. Let's have a look at some of the talents from El Nexo that they used in that fight, but weren't able to get on top of things with. We have the Tenacious Roots out of Malfurion just to try and keep someone a bit further, a bit more locked down. We have no Relentlesses on the side of Gamers2, but doesn't appear to make a difference. Double blood for blood out of Valor. Valor to try and keep her alive longer. Rhaegar for that burst combo where he feral lunges and then blood for bloods, especially when he has that bloodlust to activate straight afterwards. Pressure points out of 10. We were talking about it earlier. It is pretty useful. And, oh god, Nika, careful. And we do finally have the Executioner out of Sergeant Hammer to deal with the extra damage that we are seeing. Like I said, we do have the Frost Shot, etc. from these. We have the slows from everyone. Leo from Korea, now once again going to be the one in the Dragon Knight. He is going to be pushing up with this, and there's very little Nexo can do about this. They're still trying to clear the other lanes as well. There's an easy cap at this bot lane that Falcon's dealing with, and there's a full mid wave in this top lane that Nexo are trying to sort as well. And because of that, they have lost their middle lane for Lucifer and Vortex. Brothers they may be are not enough to stop this from being pushed in. However, the entirety of Gamers2 HOTS has moved to this bottom lane now, and they're going to be attempting to take down this keep. Nexo are going to have to let it go. They have no way to stop this. And now we're seeing Jada going very hard onto Valor. Rain of Vengeance does land, but it doesn't really do anything. The heals just keeping Nika at full health. And Gamers2 are pushing very hard here. Moving, in fact, onto the core. Nexo not having this. There's the Bloodlust at the beginning of the fight this time, but they're down to Sergeant Hammer already. Grand PKT is trying to be the front line here with the help of Lucifer. They're going very aggressively, trying to pick someone off. Saichu is on the retreat. They've already managed to take out Jada, which might be enough. The core has lost its shield. We're seeing ADRD at the back of the core trying to do as much as he can. There's the Divine Storm out of Leo from Korea, able to keep his team alive a little bit longer. And Leo from Korea dropping very low. And we're seeing Zhao, Zaichu, ADRD, and Leo from Korea diving with their last breath onto the core. And they do take this game number 1 for Gamers2 HOTS, giving them a 1-0 lead as we go into game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2 of the upper bracket final in the PGL Champions of the Storm qualifier, aka the qualifier for DreamHack Bucharest. And, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the team, starting with the team on the right-hand side, because they are currently 1-0 up, get one game away, one win away from heading to the grand final and securing at minimum a number 2 seed. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Gamers2 HOTS. And starting in the mid lane, we have Leo from Korea on the Uther. We have Nika once again playing the Jaina. In the top lane, it is going to be Zaichu playing the Tyrael. Currently making his way over from the base, it is going to be ADRD on the Tyrande, and Tassadar is being played by Zhao. Whereas on the left-hand side, in the blue trunks, it is going to be the Spanish Armada El Nexo. Starting in the bot lane is going to be Grand PKT playing the Malfurion. Vortex is playing the Nazibo. Falcon on the Sergeant Hammer. In the mid lane, Lucifron is running the Stitches. And in the top lane, being all sneaky-like, it is Black Scorp on the Zeratul. And for now, the 3-man push bot lane from El Nexo is going to be much stronger this game than we have last game, now that they have a Nazibo to go with it. Let me bring up the talent screen. Excellent. And Zhao is currently doing his best to try and clear this, because he's going to have a bit of trouble due to the fact that he can storm the minion wave, but he can't storm Nazibo and Hammer together, and they're just going to keep their pushes split. We're going to see this Nazibo run out, this Tassadar run out of mana very quickly due to the fact he's having to storm and shield pretty much consistently. We have the ganking squad out of Gamers2 HOTS, which is the one we've been seeing quite a bit out of them, or at least we saw it the last game. We have the Jaina and Tyrande ganking squad that just roams around and has the slow and damage combined, which is pretty good. It has a lot of burst damage. It works pretty effectively. Zhao taking a bit of harassment, but pops his shield to defend himself from that. I'm looking at the mid lane. Lucifron and Leo from Korea just sort of dueling each other. Leo from Korea coming out a bit better as he has that healing ability. And Lucifron doesn't want to waste his Chew Your Food ability. In the top lane, these two just hanging around, being very passive. The 2 teleport heroes, in fact. The 2 heroes who have a teleport as a basic ability. I don't think there's another. At least not one I can think of. So, those 2 just hanging up here. There we go. Sword flies out. Doesn't land. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Singularity fly out. Oh! Might lands, though. Black Scorp just going to be dueling with this. Shield goes down, but that gets wiped out very quickly. Blackscorp coming off a bit worse for wear here, but he has a bit more damage abilities. And he's just staying behind his minion wave. In comes Zaichu, and Blackscorp is going to blink out of there. Sergeant Hammer, though, did die in the bot lane. I completely missed that. I apologize. But let's have a look at some of the talents that we are seeing out of these heroes. We have the double gathering power out of Zeratul and Nazeebo, so this is going to be a very snowbally composition here out of El Nexo. They need to get both those heroes rolling very effectively. Stitches going for the more standard nowadays tank build of the To Your Food and the amplified healing, which do synergize together. Sergeant Hammer continuing to go with the extra range. Tyrael also going with a very tanky build rather than the smite build, which is pretty interesting to see. Blackscorp taking a bit of harass, blinks out the way of the Elderwind Smite, though, is pretty cool. Takes the smite to the face, though, but is going to be able to get out of there. But yeah, we're seeing Regeneration Master and Amplified Healing out of Tyrael. Zhao getting harassed by some spiders as he tries to take the tribute. The Mines will stop Leo from Korea. That's going to be a very annoying harass. MPKT, in fact, even dropping the root to deny this even longer. And it looks like El Nexo going to try and force their way in here, try and take this. Grand PKT currently trying to be the one to grab it, but he's backing up. Nika and ADRD both roaming into this location. They want to try and prevent it. They want to try and prevent this from being taken by El Nexo and get the first tribute of the game over to G2 Gamers2 Hots. We do see Malfurion go down, and that is enough for Gamers2 Hots to pick up the first tribute. Zaichu once again dropping a lot of harass onto Blackscorp. Blackscorp having a bit of difficulty here, but he now has the first aid talent, meaning he can get some good healing in and keep it up. We do see an interesting talent choice. We saw a lot of variation in this in the previous games. We do see Nazeebo picking up the Gibbon. He is where Nazebo's... We've been seeing them run completely different builds pretty much every game lately. Like, we've been seeing a couple of them have been running the Clairvoyance due to the fact their team doesn't have huge amounts of vision. We've seen a couple of them even run the Mule on certain maps. This is not a map that benefits too much from Mule, but still cool to see him going for the more damage, etc., from the more explosion radius, etc., from Toads, the longer zombies, etc., than the extra vision. Once again, as I said before, a very snowbally team. Other than that, very standard talents, everything we've seen before. Tyrael going with battle momentum, clearly going for a very shield-focused build, and Leo from Korea goes on to Grand PKT. The root is down, which is holding back Nika, who's now being focused down pretty hard as well. Blackscorp going to the other side, and he does pick him off. Grand PKT is able to survive the damage he was dealt as well. Very nice micro out of him, very good root onto ADR, onto Nika there. And now it's going to be Grand PKT heading down to this tribute. He's going to try and get it. Zhao is on his way, but I think it is too late. He's not going to be able to deny this in time, and that is the first tribute for El Nexo, which means that is one tribute to one tribute. Vortex heading out to the mid lane, just going to be getting a bit of XP from that. Both teams very, very similar in levels. El Nexo with a slight lead. They will hit level 10 first, but they're in no position to force a fight out of Gamers2 Hots before heroic abilities are available. But here they are for El Nexo. Let us have a quick look. Napalm out of Sergeant Hammer, very standard there. Tranquility out of Malfurion, the Void Prism, and we should see Putrid Bile and the Ravaging Spirit. So the usual stuff. And we now already have the level 10s available for... Oh no, he is going for Gargantuan, which is fair enough. I'll talk about that in a second. We are seeing from Gamers2 Hots the Starfall out of Tyrande, Water Elemental, Archon, the Divine Storm, and the Judgment. So I will now talk about the Gargantuan. We are seeing the Gargantuan lately against teams that have very high amounts of CC. Now this likely means that Nazeebo was picked very early in the composition, and a lot of these heroes are being run as a direct counter. For example, Tyrael does have the Judgment. He's a very good interrupter for Nazeebo's Ravaging Spirit. There we go. There is the Judgment though onto Blackscorp, and he gets burst down so quickly. Tribute already going up to El Nexo though, but G2A winning this fight very, very convincingly. Nice Starfall though, doing a lot of damage. Lucifron is going to be able to escape. Very nice tankiness out of him. G2A though, getting the kill, losing the Tribute, and that does keep El Nexo pretty even, and the fact that Hammer has been left alone in this bottom lane. But yeah, we see a lot of CC, a lot of long-range denial here. Judgment and a Tyrael, the long-range stun out of Tyrande, and Ufa with his Divine Swarm. There's a lot of denial for that Ravaging Spirit. So we do see some people nowadays taking the Gargantuan if there's too much CC and they think they'll be denied. The Gargantuan is an extra body in the fight, which is very good for absorbing skill shots, especially when you have ones that can be blocked, like the ones, for example, from Jaina, which is ideal, and Tyrande when she's not running the Pierce on her Owl, which is ideal. It also does quite a huge amount of damage if you can make it attack the right target, due to the fact it does run off AI. Zaitu pulled into the tribute area, but in comes Nika from the back. He's going to get trapped in the zombie wall, and in comes Blackscorp from behind. He will go down. Blackscorp taking a lot of damage. Nice Void Prism, though. Joe going to be able to get out of here, but he unfortunately runs straight into a Sergeant Hammer, taking a lot of damage. Blackscorp blinks to the other side, traps him out. Leo from Korea with a great Divine Storm, trying to save his teammates because he is doomed here, but Blackscorp's having none of it. ADRD trying to anger the boss, seeing if he could aggro someone, maybe aggro onto someone, maybe save his life with a root or something. And the only one to escape is Zaitu, and El Nexo turning it back, this game back into their favor very convincingly. They are now a level ahead, ramming the boss, and have a curse on their side. And we also saw there, very nice use of Gargantuan, using it to tank the boss in that fight. And El Nexo giving themselves a pretty nice lead here. We're now seeing them moving down to the middle lane to push that in as hard as they can, while the boss distracts the rest of Gamers2 HOTS. Bottom lane already down. Hammer put a lot of pressure on that earlier on, and the minions were able to kill that off. Now we're going to see the rest of El Nexo push as hard as they can onto this middle fort, and that should be all 3 forts down. This boss should be able to get it. It's about half health, but it's killing off this fort way too quickly. The minions are here now, though. That is a little bit of extra damage. We will have to see. Keep an eye on that one. Middle fort's already down, and El Nexo are actually heading to their own boss, so we'll see if it can get it. It should be able to get it. There's the Blizzard. Unfortunately, I don't think that Jaina's attacks do bonus damage, and yeah, the boss does get it and is in fact going to push on and get the rest of these buildings as well. That is very unfortunate, especially now that the minions are here. Definitely going to be able to grab everything here. Curse is now over, so boss will fall before it even gets to this next set of towers. However, second boss has already been taken. Now Nexo, rolling their way towards Gamers2 HOTS side of the map, going to want to try and take some control. Having a look at some talents here. Once again, standard stuff that we've seen before, Icy Veins. We have the increased, we have the enemy's attack cube while the angelic, oh hang on, never mind, we're seeing Divine Storm onto Lucifron. He's dropping quite low, but Tranquility is keeping him alive. He also has the Chew Your Food heal activated, and El Nexo pushing their way through. They steal this easy camp. Blackscorp chasing Nika, but he's being forced back. There's the Judgment, he gets picked off. And now the rest of Gamers2, though, going to be on the retreat. ADRD gets a shield from Tassadar. He's going to be able to escape. Vortex sprinting in there with those auto attacks, trying to do the extra damage. If he'd waited a couple seconds, he would have managed to have that specialized toxin, which he just got the talent for. We do also see, once again, Zeratul obviously running the double bombs. Let's have a look at some of the stacks from 2 AP characters in this game. Zeratul's dead, so he's on 0. We can work that one out. And Nazibo is on 5 stacks, 1 away from full, so he is dealing huge amounts of ability power damage, including all the damage from the Gargantuan is scaled up as well. So, going very well for El Nexo. We see the fishing hook out of Stitches, gotta get those really annoying picks off. Sprint, and Nazibo, we did see it earlier, going to be using it for escape, but also for the chases, as we saw there. Sprint has also been taken by Ufa, which I'm pretty sure we saw in that fight. And Tyrael running the Angelic Absorption, which is what I was trying to say earlier and failing miserably. Enemies that attack you while shielded grant 60 health over 3 seconds. So it's basically, well, as long as you're attacking someone who is shielded, a person who is shielded gets health regen. I don't know if that works on every shielded ally, or whether it works on just Tyrael. I'm unsure, which would be quite cool if it worked on everyone. Would make a lot of sense. We'll have to keep an eye on Tyrael's healing. He already has quite a bit. He already has 3,000 healing, which is pretty cool. But now, though, El Nexo pushing down the mid lane with this Bruiser camp they were able to steal. And they've got a lot of pressure going on. Zeratul has his wormhole, so he's going to be able to blink in and harass whenever he wants to. Tassadar can only grant vision for so long. And there it is. There is the Oracle. So once that's expired, Blackscorp basically has free reign to get any kind of harassment he wants. But El Nexo, not going to take too many unnecessary risks. They're in fact going to back up, grab the Watchtower for vision, and head to that tribute to start their route on the way to this next curse. Whereas Gamers2, they have to keep defending. They're going to head to top lane and deal with these giants in the top lane. Durande taking the shooting star, get that extra damage and the mana regen. El Nexo rotating so quickly now that they know Gamers2 are not in their mid lane defending anymore. Gonna do some damage to them, and they need to be careful though. There's the judgment. Nice blink out of Blackscorp. Gonna dodge it. Divine Storm catches 2 members. The Void Prism catches 2 as well. Leo from Korea has now been separated from the team, back to the hook, but he's going to be able to sprint out of there. ADRD going on to Blackscorp. There is the wormhole. Blackscorp trying to escape. He's gone away. Tyrael goes down. He's going to try and explode as many people as possible. He gets 2. In comes Blackscorp again. He's popped his first aid, keeping himself alive. And that was a 2 for 0. Jada dropped out as well. I don't know how Ufa survived, and I have no idea how Blackscorp survived. Very, very good job by him. That wormhole confusing enough enemies that they just didn't notice him reappear in the middle of the fight that he was able to walk out of, because they started attacking him too late. Hook from Lucifer does not land. El Nexo going onto the core. There's a lot of shield for them to go through and 3 enemies to deal with to try and stop them. Let's see if they can do it. Blackscorp being dropped very low. He's going to blink past ADRD here. And there's the wormhole taking him back out of this fight. Leo from Korea charging forward. Vortex circling the core, trying to do as much as he can. Blackscorp blinking back in. Now that ADRD is onto Vortex, and this should be enough. And El Nexo evens up the score to 1-1, meaning that it goes down to a final game in this best out of 3 series, winner of which will move on to the grand finals and guarantee themselves at minimum a number 2 seed, loser of which will go down to the lower bracket finals to play against SK Gaming, and they still have the chance at the number 2 seed if they can beat out SK Gaming. Number 4 seed already been determined. It goes to Fnatic, as they did lose to SK in the lower bracket round 3. So join me in, well, for you, a couple seconds with game number 3 of this series. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 3 of this best of 3 series. This is the upper bracket semi-final, and I'm going to get you straight into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, currently 1 game away from heading to the grand final, it is going to be El Nexo. And starting out for El Nexo, we have ETC being played by Luciferon. Playing the Sergeant Hammer, we have Falcon. Playing the Malfurion. Once again, it is going to be Grand PKT, Blackscorp running the Zeratul, and on the other Protoss, Vortex is playing the Tassadar. Whereas on the right-hand side, also 1 game away from getting through to the grand finals, it is going to be Gamers2 Hots. And starting out for them, it is going to be Nika on the Valor. It is going to be Joe or Zhao on the Rhaegar. I will alternate between the 2. Zaichu is playing the Chen. Leo from Korea is playing the Uther. And we're going to see ADRD on the Nazibo. And, well, we're seeing the double support meta beginning to shine its way through. This will change in the patch that's coming up in a day or 2. We've already seen a storm onto this gate, I think. I'm not sure what's happened there. Looks a bit weird. And there we go, Chen going a bit aggressive. Cyan Fusion, I guess it's just bugged out the gate. Oh well. Tri-lane in the top lane for Gamers2 here. Going to be very, very hard with their push. And they can do it. Valor, great wave clear. Nazibo, great pushing potential. And Zhao will keep them healthy. Leo from Korea, just going to keep safe here. Keep the lanes, keep the lane, keep the XP going. Whereas Chen, going to do his best against Vortex here as possible. And Chen wins most solo lanes. This should be taken into account, the fact that he just gains huge amounts of shields and huge amounts of health regen. Especially as the fact, once again, we can see Chen is running the full regen build thanks to that regen master talent. Tassadar starting off the Cyan Fusion is a bit interesting, considering that a lot of Tassadars take the increased mana regen thanks to Conjurer's Pursuit, which is a talent option for him, which makes a lot more sense on this map, as this map, average game length wise, is the longest map, so it is more likely we'll see games go on a lot longer, aka more time to grab those health globes. So it's a bit weird to not see someone like a Tassadar running a Conjurer's Pursuit, but each to their own, I guess. So average game length for a game of Heroes is about 23 minutes. Average game on this map is about 26. So it is a little bit longer. You get a bit more time to get those seeds, etc. Zaichu and Leo from Korea going to be taking the bottom seeds for Gamers2. They've already taken the majority of the top seeds after raiding the enemy base. Blackscorp, however, has been able to sneak a couple, and I think ETC was able to grab a couple from this side as well. we're now seeing Gamers2 start off on this top Terror. And we're now going to see El Nexo roll in there. Ufa has been killed off thanks to a gank from Blackscorp. And we're now seeing the Terror fight happening. Leo, Grand PKT trying to distract here. Falcon attempting to grab some seeds. But now Blackscorp's here. They are going very, very aggressive. Falcon coming from the back, going onto Nika here. Blackscorp trying to 1 versus 1 against Zhao. But now that Lucifer's here, Zhao is in some serious trouble. He's going to try and turn onto Blackscorp, but he is outnumbered. He will go down, and the healing ward keeps Blackscorp alive and healthy. They'll be able to grab the remainder of these seeds. Nika going to try and say something about this. Blackscorp catching a grenade from Nika to the face there, but he's going to be able to remain healthy. Lucifer, on the other hand, is going on to Nika and trying to pick him off, but won't happen. However, his block keeps him pretty healthy and manages to just shrug off the auto-attack reply that Valor had after he engaged onto her. Having a look at some of the other talents, we can see Zeratul once again starting off with Gathering Power, and we can see Nazibo running pretty much the same thing. Death Ritual, Gathering Power, got to get those stacks, baby. Other than that, very usual stuff. Other than the Psi Fusion, which is a little unusual, it's pretty normal from everyone right now. Not too much to talk about. ADRD just landing some harassment onto Vortex here and doing as much as he can to clear the wave. But yeah, you can see him every now and again just landing a single auto attacks over and over again because, well, ADRD's auto attacks poison, and that just allows him to work his damage count up and just make himself stronger and stronger as time does go on. Now, Gamers2 looking to try and roll their way into this Terror to get some extra seeds to work themselves towards their Terror. ADRD, though, gonna die thanks to the Storm and the Plant Root. And now it is going to be Zaichu on the retreat. Blackscorp blinks in for the cleave, but does not get the kill. And El Nexo also now going to try and roll in. And if they do take this, they will have enough seeds to give themselves a Terror. As you can see here, when this seed is open, there are enough seeds on the map to give you a Terror. You can see that you saw there that the Gamers2 one closed because there weren't enough seeds left on the map because El Nexo had taken them all. It's now open again because it is no longer nighttime, so more seeds will be spawning eventually. So they should be fine. Terror now available for El Nexo. They can run and grab that at their leisure as long as they are in time. Blackscorp and Vortex, you're going to be able to take this pretty easily. They do get spotted by the far side, but that's more to grant vision, see if they can find out where the enemy is from Gamers2. They weren't planning on doing any kind of raid. Joe, going to be backing up. He's pushing his lane about as far as he can, so he's going to move back. Was thinking about tapping a mercenary, but doesn't matter because El Nexo has already taken their plant Terror. It's going to be taken by Blackscorp, aka the Zeratul. So once that pops, going to be a very angry Blackscorp coming out of there and dropping all his damage onto you. Vortex has been getting some great storms here. Can very much see why he's running the Psi Fusion here. And he's also taken the static charge. So he's getting a lot of extra damage out of this as well. Working very well for him. Blackscorp, however, has been left pretty much alone in this top lane. Just Zhao trying to defend against him. He's going to be able to push very hard here. ETC holding the mid lane versus ADRD. And finally, Chen comes to the top lane as well to try and deal with this. Heroics available for both teams. Usual stuff, other than we do see the stage dive, which is a bit out of the ordinary now and again. But we do see it pop in. But that is from ETC. This is one of the bigger maps as well. Makes a lot of sense to allow him to be more mobile. You can see, like I said before, still holding the lane versus ADRD. Whereas on the side of Gamers2 HOTS, they are running the usual builds on pretty much everyone. We have the Ancestral Healing, Wandering Keg, Ravenous Spirit, Divine Storm, and Rain of Vengeance. Very usual stuff. In comes Vortex onto ADRD. ADRD manages to dodge the root, and that allows him to escape. Manages to dodge the Polymorph as well, and take down the plant. Great job by him. Doing an amazing job defending, but he's not going to be able to do it for much longer. However, the rest of his team has now arrived, so he should be able to defend pretty effectively. Chen, now managed to clear his wave, is also on his way down to defend. And there we go, going to be able to clear that up. We're seeing Valor and Leo from Korea heading their way down to this bottom lane, and they're looking for Falcon, but nice knockback from Falcon, able to keep himself alive. Pretty low on mana, but he's just grabbed the fountain for that so he can use his knockbacks a little bit more. Let's have a look at the damage chart quickly, while these teams just work their way through each other, clearing waves and waiting for the next night to happen. Currently, the damage chart is being led by Nazibo. In fact, he's currently in the lead. No, it is Valor in the lead, my mistake, with her multi-shot build, which makes a lot of sense as it is all AoE damage. ADRD not going to be at the top of the damage count anytime soon if he's going to get picked off like this. And he does not get picked off like this, thanks to the Ancestral Healing. Nice save there by Zaichu as well with the Wandering Keg to remove the enemy from him. And that's 9k damage out of ADRD, so could be pretty good once he starts using that ult. Blackscorp going to be blinking back out of there. He does have his wormhole now, so he can afford to be a little more aggressive. And of course we have the Life Seed, considering that Malfurion already has the Enduring Regrowth, so you've got to get that huge extra healing. We have the Uber Rockstar actually out of ETC as well, very much an engagement ability. Zaichu does not have his heroic here, so jumping in this far is purely just to try and draw some fire. In comes Ravenous Spirit. Void Prism coming out of Zeratul is going to buy his team some time to get out of that Ravenous Spirit, but they're still continuing to fight and diving back in. Blackscorp going on to Valor there is able to pick her off. ADRD now also going to get picked off. His Ravenous Spirit was not able to pick off anyone from El Nexo, and El Nexo take this fight in convincing fashion and are going to be able to take this top Terra. And Zeratul already on his way down to the bottom lane to take the rest of these seeds and give his team some more control. And this will definitely be another Terra for them. And Zaichu going to attempt to stop Blackscorp here. He has Gel with him, but Blackscorp, he is a Zeratul. He can blink out and keep himself alive and safe. And there we go. Going to make it behind the wall. Rest of El Nexo, though, already down here in this bottom lane, going to be rolling their way in and taking the rest of these seas. Not going to be able to get to the Terra yet, and they're in fact going to have to go a bit on the run, but now they are all here, all going to group up. And once again, Zeratul taking the Terra straight away, going to be running him down to this bottom lane to help his team fight over this, see if they can get yet another Terra for their side. Not many seeds are needed by Gamers2 in order to get their own Terra. They only need to grab a couple. They're now 9 seeds away, and they are dropping quick and fast. We're seeing Lucifer here rolling in, trying to take as many as possible, but now Blackscorp's here. Looks like he's actually going to be able to drive them back and prevent them from taking the seeds they need if they can grab the rest of these seeds. That is catastrophic for Gamers2, giving away 2 Terras without taking one of their own to El Nexo, and there it is. El Nexo picking up the rest of the seeds. 7 seeds needed for Gamers2 to grab a Terra of their own. So once again, they're going to be on the defensive, and they're just going to let any chances they have slowly slip away. If this keeps up, they need to start grabbing Terras of their own. This next night, though, is going to be interesting for them, as they will 100% have the Terra. All they need is 7 seeds. That's easily doable for them. So they'll have to see what they do with that. But now, though, El Nexo just continuing to put pressure onto this mid lane. Stitches just split pushing the bot lane. He can stage dive to join his team at any point. So he's split pushing, just soaking XP. He's like a Brightwing or a Falstad once he has that heroic ability. Shen, on the other hand, going to be joining him just to make sure that the XP count doesn't get too hugely out of hand. However, Blackscorp just going to use the opportunity that everyone's in the mid lane to go and kill off this fort. There we go, plant as far back as possible to stop Nika getting to it. Nika is going to get to it in the end, but that's a bit too late. Actually, no, it's not too late, because Blackscorp's Terra expired. I wasn't even looking at the timer, I was looking at the health, because I thought that would end first. Blackscorp now getting engaged upon. There's the Ravenous Spirit. He doesn't have a blink yet. It will be up soon, but interrupted is ADRD. In comes the stage dive. Ancestral Healing probably going to be used on someone else. Nika was actually not too bad for health. Down goes Ufa. He is trying to do as much damage as he can, but that is still Ufa down. And Zaichu was not here in time to join his team in this fight. And that is another fight for El Nexo. Fort does go down just to the members of El Nexo here instead of to the Garden Terror. And they're going to take all of Gamers2 mercenaries now, except for this bottom easy camp, which Gamers2 realised that, well, El Nexo stealing all our stuff in the top lane. We got to take this really quickly to make sure we actually have something to do some damage in the bot lane. El Nexo have their level 16 talents. They have the second strike out of Tassadar, very damage heavy. Mana regeneration every time Tassadar spawns. Storms, sorry. We had the static charge for that extra damage, and the second storm just to help him deal even more damage still. And of course Archon and Distortion Beam is pretty effective when it comes to the chase. Double Bomb and a Zeratul, he'll be taking Rewind once he hits level 20 as well. Hardened Focus and a Malfurion, which makes a lot of sense seeing as he is running the Life Steal, because the Life Seed, sorry, because it does reduce the cooldown of that as well. Stone Skin out of ETC for the extra tankiness, and Executioner out of Sergeant Hammer for reasons we have stated earlier. Gamers2, not too far away from the level 16s, but the fact that they haven't got them yet is still not good, as El Nexo just hit level 17. And just killed off Gamers2's fort. Now Gamers2 going to be clearing this hard camp, trying to defend. Nighttime happening in 25 seconds, and El Nexo already grouping up, looking for a gank opportunity. Can't actually fit them all in the bush there. And they run into Zhao here. Zhao is the one getting engaged upon. He manages to have Citadel healing himself, but he is rooted by Malfurion. Zombie Wall actually would have trapped him, and ADRD didn't actually collapse it. It had to be killed off. There is the Ravenous Spirit chasing on to Blackscorp. No CC being used on ADRD here. Blackscorp, though, able to blink away from it. Ravenous Spirit catches no one. And ADRD trying to burst, almost being burst down there by Blackscorp. Leo from Korea out of position here, unable to catch out anyone. Level 16 just hit by Gamers2 Hots, but it's too little, too late. El Nexo winning another fight, killing off 2 members this time, both the supports, in time for night, and they're going to be getting as many of those seeds as possible. If they can get all of the seeds and deny the 7 seeds from Gamers2, I will be astounded. But they're going to try and do their best. Their Terra is available. Blackscorp does get engaged upon by Zaichu, and is going to back up a bit. Needs to steal those seeds, though. And here we go, Zaichu diving in. He should be enough just on his own to grab those seeds. Okay, the rest of Gamers2 trying to put some pressure on bot lane, and finally a Terra available for Gamers2 Hots. El Nexo, their Terra already prepared for 50 seconds left on that. The rest of Gamers2 in the top lane, they want to try and steal the rest of these seeds to give themselves as good a shot as possible at another Terra after this night is over, but they don't want to fight El Nexo yet. They're going to be backing up, having a look at some of their level 16 talents. Both for the Valor, got to get that extra bit of health regen if he can get it off. If she can get it off onto ETC, that would be ideal. Imposing Presence, going to be good against the Sergeant Hammer. Specialized Toxin from the Nazi bonus for the extra damage, and the Bolden, the Flavor, extra shield generation out of Chen for that extra tankiness. Malfurion being dropped very low. Grand Peak AT doesn't look like he's actually going to get out of this one, and down he does go. ETC though coming in, gets the stun onto Zhao, and the Polymorph goes off. Zaichu on the run while he was a plant. He dives in though and immediately gets planted again. Not a great landing spot there. Nika on the run. He has no one to defend him here. ADRD has got a good position over the wall, but now everyone is chasing them for it. And Chen is there with them, but he can't actually catch up. He's trying to defend his team here, but then he's just being ignored because he doesn't do enough. And Nika and ADRD are suffering for it because they are just being chased down. And finally, Chen does pick off a hero. He does pick off the ETC. And ADRD, though, is on the run as well. He's going to go down. Nika already died and didn't get him. ADRD is able to escape here. Tassadar goes down in the background as well. Zaichu and Leo from Korea able to pick off most of El Nexo here, doing a very good job. Plant Terror from El Nexo, just Blackscorp now, is pushing down the mid lane, trying to get as much damage as possible, whereas the rest of Gamers2 just trying to make back the deficit that they've had up to now. They've been throwing plants down in this top lane, doing damage to this fort. They'll have to go finish it off later. And now we're seeing Leo from Korea leaving Zaichu to finish off this plant terror and give them as many seeds as possible. It will not be enough to give them another plant terror. As we can see, it's not enough for Gamers2 here. There is enough for El Nexo if they can grab the rest of these, and they're trying to. Blackscorp blinking in, getting some extra damage down. He's being engaged upon by Zaichu, though. Zaichu starting to get very scary at this point. And nice Void Prism. If they hadn't got the terror in that, they would have been able to steal all of those seeds. Blackscorp trying to get a good position. In comes the stage dive, and that's a lot of seeds being stolen there. Not enough for El Nexo, though, not able to get a terror. Ravenous Spirit coming from over the wall there. Blackscorp immediately blinking out. Lucifron popping his Stone Skin, going to keep him pretty safe. And ADRD just cancelling it because he has no idea where Zeratul is. Unfortunately, he's run into a very bad position here. There is a double bombs, and it is not enough to finish him off, though, due to the fact that Blackscorp did die and lose his stacks. But however, Lucifron is enough. And here comes Blackscorp, able to kill off Valor as well. It is now Leo from Korea and Zaichu on the run. Leo from Korea taking a double bomb to the face. Not just the second one, able to keep himself alive, and he will escape. Zaichu now trying to come in and get some revenge. He can do this. He can go very, very ballsy here due to the fact that he does have so much tankiness. He has quite a bit of health regen. He has 6 stacks on that health regen, and he has the increased shields from his fortifying brew. He's trying to defend as effectively as he can, but El Nexo are already on the core. Leo from Korea is not as lucky as Chen here, having to play a bit further back. Chen doing as much as he can, and he takes out Grand PKT, but he needs to take out 4 more members of El Nexo, and it's not going to happen. Falcon just ignoring him, going for the core. He has his Nexus Frenzy ability. He's doing huge amounts of damage, and that is GG and we are going to see El Nexo move on to the grand final. Gamers2 Hots will move down to the lower bracket finals, where they will play against SK Gaming, winner of which will play against El Nexo in the grand final. So, next video, which will be up tomorrow, will be the lower bracket final, which will, as I said, be SK versus Gamers2 Hots. This is for seedings. Whichever one loses in that game will get seed number 3. Whoever wins will have a shot at that number 1 seed versus El Nexo. So thank you all for watching, and see you all tomorrow.